Triple M footy special comments are brought to you by Cbus Super. Whether you're on the tools or in the office, Cbus is built to last.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
this quarter is brought to you by Beaumont Tiles. For Australia's best tradie rewards, it's Beaumont's Trade Club.
Quarter time at this magnificent roofed stadium that is Etihad, and it is North by 2 points. 4-4-28 leading the Bombers. 4-2-26. Bosch tool stats, Bosch connected range, good, better, Bosch, Ash.
Taylor Garner, number one ranked player, 9 disposals, 1 major.
Bob Jane T-Mart's narrowly. We're coming down to you. Bob Jane T-Mart's the tyre and wheel specialist.
Both teams very healthy at this point, BT. No injury concerns. Obviously, Robbie Tarrant was laid out for North Melbourne, but as far as the actual game goes, both teams are fine. Interestingly, Brad Scott has had the North Melbourne boys in a group for a really, really long time now and just pulling them in very tight now. We know they're a very inexperienced side, so the senior coach is spending a fair bit more time with them as opposed to the Bombers players who spent most of that quarter time breaking their lines and really just less than a minute with John Worsfold at the end there.
Triple M Cbus Super special comments. Award-winning super, by the way, for the building and construction industry. Here's Wayne Carey and Nathan Brown with North leading by 2 points.
They are leading by 2 points, and if the Bombers play this way against the side anywhere near the 8 or competing for a flag this year, it won't be 2 points, it'll be 42 points at quarter time. They've been deplorable, the Bombers, so far. They've allowed 30 uncontested marks so far. They average 95 a game themselves, the Bombers. They've only taken 10. They've laid 12 tackles, and I think they turned up thinking this is going to happen. North Melbourne got so many players out. We're playing a young side. We're playing good form. We're going to run over the top of them, and they've been hit by a team that's a little bit hungrier than them at the moment.
Yeah, the disposals, not that big a difference. Kangaroos only had 9 more. So it's not like they've had heaps more of the footy to have that many uncontested marks in comparison.
4-4-28 North, 4-2-26 Essendon. We're ready to go, second term. The Kangas kicking to the Lloyd right of screen end. And the Bombers to the Fletcher left of screen end or radio dial end, whatever you like. Bellchambers high, Doyle with him. Heppel, another really good clearance. Got it to Zaharakis. Myers now. Back to Watson. They're retreating a little bit. McKenna. Here's Merritt. And are they going to tip the footy back? They are. Merritt. McKenna it was, received a push in the back, so he'll get a free. Centre of Etihad Stadium, early stages, second term for Beaumont Tiles. Tilers by 4 tubs of Ardex ABA waterproofer and get 1 free exclusive to Beaumont's.
Yeah, Bowser, Bazanko and the boys out at Riddles Creek. They're the Tilers out there, JB. They use that stuff.
Nice.
Little handball from Watson. Got it to Merritt with a beautiful left foot sizzler. On the head of Madjack. Missed the ball by a metre, but it was very high given Madjack is tall, and it wasn't Danaher. It was Bellchambers. Duck.
Yeah, he got up high though, didn't he?
That was
He
a
got the
big
hang
time.
too.
I think Madjack said, hey, I took mark of the year last year.
Gives it off to Waite. Waite, a little one, finds Nielsen. A good story. Dan Nielsen came back from a knee reconstruction. A lot of people thought it was a nasty one. It might be the end of him, or he's in trouble now. He's taken on Tip and Woody, gone across the ground to a one-on-one, and that was always going to work for the Bombers. Good mark taken by Stewart, and Nielsen just got it wrong.
Well, he just panicked in the end, and McDonald, Tip and Woody once again. That's the pressure, though, that he puts on, JB.
Yep, it's Rioli style.
It is, because he just didn't allow him to play on, then he panicked, kicked it to a 50-50, and, well, this young man, Stewart, we've raved about him, BT. Starts games well. I really like him. I reckon he can build into a really good footballer, this kid.
Well, he has about 30 metres to go. James Stewart, not a hell of a lot of angle. Be a real good start this for the Bombers. Kick on the way.
Can butcher him.
And likes it. Back in front, Essendon. 5-2-32 to 4-4-28. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
He's a player who you don't know whether he's going to be in that final side when it comes to the end of the season. He's playing okay at the moment, but he goes in and out of games at the moment. He needs to develop his consistency, which will come as he plays more football, but he's a bit of an enigma at the moment. He could be anything in this Bombers forward line.
He's only played 25 or 6 games, Brownie. So he's...
It's not many.
No, that's what I'm saying. His inconsistency is still going to be there, which
Yeah.
is what you're saying is his issue as a youngster.
He's a good athlete, and he marks it well. Can be a little bit inconsistent in front of goal, but that's a good confidence booster for him.
4 of the last 5 goals here, the Bombers. James Stewart gets his first of the game. Bellchambers back in the middle. Cunnington tries to extract, did a pretty good job. Eventually got rid of the ball. Swallow couldn't get on the end of it. Heppel did. He was looking for Zaharaka, surrounded by North Melbourne players. Somehow Watson staggered the ball forward. Tippin Woody, McDonald there as well. Little ball opportunity here. Danaher went and got it.
Brilliant.
Spooned it on the left. The kick there to Fantasia is great. And Fantasia has taken the mark 35 out directly in front. Danaher, really brilliant the way he did that.
I'll tell you what was brilliant about it. He didn't kick it to Fantasia. He kicked it to the space. He knew that Fantasia...
Bit of a stoush going on here too, Duck.
Yeah, a little
Thompson
bit of...
and Danaher.
Yeah.
They're on the ground wrestling.
It'll be Scott Thompson.
Danaher's just rolling around laughing.
Fantasia, in the meantime, comes in to kick the footy from 35 metres out. All that skirmish takes place in the background and he nails it. So Fantasia kicks his second goal. 4-4-28 North Melbourne. Essendon 6-2-38 on the Beaumont Tiles scoreboard.
They're dominating in the centre clearances, are Essendon. They've had 7 to the Kangaroos 4. And Watson, well, he's had 4 himself. So that rest, Two-Man, has done Jobe very well. Off to a good start today. What are his actual numbers? 4 centre clearances.
And leading ball winner on the ground with 10 disposals and a couple of tackles.
So, first 2 of this second term to the Bombers. And they are 6-2-38 to 4-4-28. 10-point leaders here at Etihad Stadium.
Just about the best small forward in the comp right now, Oratio Fantasia.
Majektor high, down. In comes Merritt, though, with the clearance. This is the domination you were just talking about, Duck. Myers on the left, sits it high to centre half forward. Pushed out of it was Luke McDonald. And a free kick's going to go his way.
Yeah, that was Jobe Watson involved in that centre clearance again.
Sideways to Sean Higgins at half-back. Higgins distributes wider still to a one-on-one with Garner. Well done, Myers, broke it up. Numbers here for the Kangaroos. Rovat's got it. A couple of Bombers have got him. Garner goes back and finds the footy. It's all happening very close to the boundary. Umpire comes in, going to throw it up.
Right near the boundary line, centre wing on the City side. Umpire Craig Flair within 3 metres of the boundary line here. It's waiting for the ruckman to arrive. Bellchambers and Doyle. You're not supposed to do that, umpire. Nominate someone, and if you don't nominate someone, throw it up and tell no one to go for it. Little kick around the corner here from the Roos. Going forward, aggressive punch by McKenna. Absolutely splattering Simpkin. And goes over the line and out of bounds.
I don't remember calling his name, Ash, Jai Simpkin.
Yeah, Jai Simpkin for Bosch Tools, statless JB.
That would be why.
How much of the game has he played?
75%.
He's had a good go at it then, given the fact we're deep in, or not deep, but early into the quarter here of the second. Simpkin now 55 out, pops it up, Brown elevates. Good grab, just too big for his opponent Hartley in the end when he jumps and gets the Dukes extended, and he's taken it on a difficult angle. He will run around and play on the right boot, and he will kick the goal. And almost silence here as they kick their first of the second quarter. 5-4-34 North Melbourne to the Bombers 6-2-38 Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Yeah, when he runs and jumps at the footy, Ben Brown, he dwarfs defenders. He is a big man, and you're right, when those arms go up, the only thing that you can do is chop the arm, and you give away a free kick. So he's going to be up against it, Hartley.
I'll tell you what, he's had a ripping season for a team. Placed 17th. He's third on the Coleman, or fourth or something.
He's now he is equal third with 42 majors.
He's had a terrific season. Around the grounds for near map aerial imagery, Ash.
Demons by 11 points over Port Adelaide, deep into the first.
Jeez, that's a big game too at the MCG. Another centre clearance, Bombers. It's becoming a worry. Parrish stuck it wide. Collier had a good piece of it and then went and found it on the ground. Did brilliantly, Collier. Walked through a heap of traffic. Bounces away. Sticks it inside 50. Just to Danaher. He's in range. Should go back and have a ping. He kicked it into the man standing in front of him in Thompson. Zerha's now got work to do. Oh, nice stiff arm. Brown coming at him. The kick is going to work. So a couple of ricochets actually work for the Kangaroos. And Brown's going to take a shot from about 35 out, not much angle.
It's the first time he hasn't done the team thing, Danaher, because he had 2 players. One of those was Gleeson running in unaided inside forward 50. Should have just chipped it over to him. Did the wrong thing. Went the big wind-up 60-metre goal. Ricochet down the other end. And now the Kangaroos are having a shot.
Great smother by Thompson, wasn't it? They're the smothers you don't want to do because they hurt.
So Benny Brown to kick his second and give the Kangas back the lead. customary long run-up. Can see a lot of the goal face. The drop punt on the way, and he likes it. 2 in a row, Benny Brown. 6-4-40 to 6-2-38. Kangaroos by 2 points. Beaumont Tiles scoreboard down to you, Nez.
Joe Watson is on the bench at the moment, very vocal, very frustrated indeed with a piece of play just then, screaming at everyone on the bench. I haven't seen Joe Watson like that for quite some time. Good to see that the passion's still there.
Just on the Coleman medal, for those who want to know, Franklin's on 47, Danaher is on 46, and Brown is on 43.
Well, it's an important medal, Duck. It's one that you never won. And it's a 2-point lead with North Melbourne here at the moment. Don't know whether anyone else here has won one. Triple M Rocks footy, thanks to our great mates at McDonald's. And they've kicked the last 2 after the Bombers kicked the first 2 in the quarter. Umpire Lee Fisher having trouble getting it up in the middle.
I was going to say, look at the bouncing of the ball, Bristol. Seriously, and our man Razor last night, a couple of real poxy ones.
He struggled as well, but it was a soft middle. He is a hard middle. And Razor really should have got it up. And now Lee Fisher comes in for the throw up. And that Jack Daw, and they go at each other. Gee, whenever they make contact, the ruckman, there's a free kick because it looks aggressive. They were both in that.
Agreed.
Here's Bagley trying to shovel along the ground. Squirted out the handball from Collier. Back to Bagley. Long ball. 1-on-1 deep Hooker. Hooker did really well against Nielsen. Takes him back. Turns him around. Ugly looking kick though. On that occasion, picked up by Parrish, fired the handball out to another blonde bomber. Got it in Heppel. Heppel, high ball around the corner. McDonald, Tippin Woody running with the flight of the ball. Has taken a ripping mark, 20 out.
Had to sit under that for a long time, Duck, didn't he? And players were coming from everywhere, kept his eye on it. He was going to be cleaned up. Really good mark. And a nice kick from Heppel to win him a little bit high.
As soon as the ball left Heppel's boot, you knew McDonald Tippin Woody was under that footy, and he kept his eyes on it.
Good shepherd from Laverty as well.
McDonald Tippin Woody for his second from 20 metres, basically directly in front. No problems at all. He's got it. Bombers kick their 7th. 7-2-44 to North Melbourne. 6-4-40 at the 13-minute mark of the second quarter on the Beaumont Tiles scoreboard.
Well, we thought it was going to be a shootout, and that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. But the Bombers dominating centre clearances, man. What are the numbers now?
Yeah, it's 10-4. You can give 4 of those to Joe Watson.
You know what the thing is with the centre clearances at the moment? The Kangaroos are getting sucked in with their wingmen, and the Bombers players are just staying out on their own, and they're really getting it mixed up at the moment, the Kangaroos, so they need to really put some time into the wing spots because that's where they're exiting out of the centre clearances.
A couple of the Kangaroos defenders won't want to see that in review, Duck, as we're back in the middle.
They could have gone a bit harder.
Here's a beautiful centre clearance to North Melbourne. Inside 50 they go, but Benny Brown went the wrong way. And a very simple clearance for the Essendon defence. A good one too. That's a free kick to Goddard to push. He can't tunnel, and that is a very correct decision. So Goddard at half-back will take the footy. Looks for something. Can't really find anything. He's a genius by foot. That kick was a little strong. Zaharakis claimed in the Simpkin tackle. Just released the footy. Paris did similar, with Atley hanging on to him, and the umpire's watching this pretty closely. I reckon it is, Brian.
Yeah, tough. Went down the ground. Umpire said you've got to make an effort. He was locked up. He couldn't, but fair call. In the end, Atley goes wide to McDonald. McDonald overlap here to the left foot of Mullet. He goes searching inside 50 with a beautiful ball to Brown. Got both hands on it, couldn't mark it in the end. It was a great kick, great attempt by Brown. Brown got a little kick out of the pack, almost rushed over the line by Kelly, and then he realised there was no defender, and if he had, he would have been in trouble. High contact with Hurley in the last line of defence.
Well done by Kelly, wasn't it, BT? Great call, because he nearly rushed it over and then realised if he did, it would have been a deliberate rush.
Bombers by 4 points. Hurley's got it. Low ball. Laverty can't hang on. I thought a really good mark taken there by Stewart. Up, handballing to Merritt. Good offensive handball, Laverty. McDonald went the bump rather than the tackle and has hurt himself. Ball back now to Gleeson. A little don't argue. And then Laverty's got it back, and now Zaharakis has got it back. Wide kick. Chopped out by Cunnington's a really good player. He'll do the don't argue, don't worry. Taken in the tackle, releasing handball, good for Gleeson. Bombers away here off half-back. Laverty a long ball forward. They're out here, Tippin Woody. Well done, Nielsen in front. That is a terrific defensive mark.
Paid the man in front, Nielsen. He was under a lot of pressure, got it out wide to Atley, and McDonald coming off, looking a little sore as well. Handball to Garner. North on the attack here. Long ball from Garner. Waite's got the sit here. Uses the body into Hurley and couldn't trap it before it went out of bounds. And we'll go over the line out of bounds. We'll throw it in. Let's get down to Nez and Dr. Rowan White for Bob Jane Team Arts.
Luke McDonald has just gone straight down the race and pulled up. He's over on his haunches. What do you think, Doc?
Yeah, it looks like he got a knock on the lower breastbone on the sternum. Really having a lot of trouble getting his breath at the moment. Just down the race, we'll keep a close eye on him.
Should have tackled, went bumping instead and hurt himself in the process. Watson really good in tight. No one's getting out of this. Jim Kelly's got it, so has Sean Higgins. Great news for the Kangas with Sean Higgins re-signing to the end of 2019. Been a fantastic player since coming across from the Western Bulldogs. Arguably in that stretch of footy in North Melbourne's best one or two players. Brilliant. Goddard walked through traffic, gave it to Merritt, who was instantly claimed. Bagley, the same can be said. The ball's going to be thrown up 35 from home.
So the Roos with that extra in defence there, Brownie at the moment. Scott Thompson, the man as we speak. So going to be hard for the Bombers to get through. More difficult anyway. Hurley was disappointed with his left foot. High ball out wide. Good stretching mark taken by Durden. And that was a really good one over the top of Stewart. Now Durden, he's 60 metres out from the North Melbourne southern end Lloydie goal. High footy, in it comes. Here's Ben Brown, got another good run at it. Had both hands on it, couldn't quite reel it in. Had plenty of contenders, mind you, queuing up behind him in the air. And now the ball in dispute at ground level. We'll ball it up. Let's get down to Nez, Bob Jane Team Arts.
Luke McDonald was just assessed by the medicos in the race. He's re-emerged and back on the bench, feeling at the right side of his ribs at the moment, but looks like he's got his breath back.
Thrown up ball. Dorr slaps it to a dangerous spot. Dumont came through. Gave it to Garner. Claimed in a really good Goddard tackle. Released the footy. Collier was also claimed. Footy out of play.
Hey, Jim, you asked about Durden and saying that he needed to announce himself as a footballer. He's had some time now. 6 marks today already. Yep. 4 of those intercepts, so he's been very, very good today.
Yep. That's exactly what you want from a first-round draft pick who's been sitting on your list for a while. To be fair to him, he has had injury issues, but he now looks healthy. He's getting a look at it. It's good. Collier out of the stoppage. Just an end-on-ender. It'll work for the Bombers. No. Looked like it was going to land just inside the field of play. It didn't. And the man Nathan Brown was mentioning, Sam Durden, will bring the footy back into play. Bombers by 4 points. Entertaining game. Short to Rovat, who takes it outside 50.
Yeah, Rovat, 60 metres out here. Merritt stands the mark. Stagnant north forward line at the moment. Some shorter leads being offered. This is the one he wants. Looking for Waite over the back of Watson. Gee, Watson copped a pounding from the fast-moving Waite at the back. McDonald, Woody gave the handball to Stewart. He was nailed in a ripping tackle there by the Roos. Couldn't quite catch who it was, but it was perfect. Took him to the ground. It might have been Attlee. Mullet it was. And he looks like he's hurt himself a little bit, Mullet as well.
Just with Michael Hurley, last week 27 touches at 100% efficiency. Today 7 at only 29.
Dorr short handball didn't really help Trent Dumont. Watson was good in the coalface as always. Through comes Cunnington. Might have been touched ball, I reckon. It went through the hands of Brown. Now Bagley's got to work back really hard. He does. Rovat went and got it. Handball to Benny Brown. Missed the target. Zaharakis.
Well done,
Watson,
Joe.
brilliant hands. Got it to McGrath and they release wide, but Clark's going to take it. Quick handball from him to Mullet. Inside 50 he goes. That's a pretty ordinary ball. Didn't really work for either forward. Hurley picks it up. Lovely releasing handball. Gleeson bombers away.
Gleeson immediately goes long, but look at this. He's gone to a 2-on-1. Woody the one. Almost took it. Got it over the line, out of bounds. Crowd out there wanted a free, but nothing forthcoming. And we'll throw it in on centre wing. Heavily populated Essendon fans out that wing. So blood rule North Melbourne, a chance to have a look at the full scores here. So it's 7-2-44 Essendon, North Melbourne 6-4-40, Beaumont Tiles scoreboard. We've played 16 minutes in the second term. It's been a 3-goal Bomber quarter, a 2-goal Ben Brown North Melbourne quarter. As Zaharakis comes off under the blood rule.
I think it was Rovat bristled with a knee, just a grazed knee. We'll get the guys to have a look at that.
Right. So ready to go again. And the kick from Merritt is a dangerous one. Gee, he doesn't mind going back inside dangerously. Merritt, I know he's a good kick, but Garner takes the mark as a result. Short kick from him to Majak. He's right on the point of the square at half forward, Majak. 60 metres out from goal. See what he can do. Sticks it in there. Waite's got an opportunity here. Trying to fly over the back there. Was taken back, Parrish or Gleeson it was. And Gleeson's hurt himself as well. So the injury's starting to come thick and fast now. Dumont, little fumble. Handball back. Danaher, ricochet. Hits the deck. Fantasia applying a tackle on Garner. Garner got it off. Dumont had a kick along the ground. All Bombers. Look at this. 5-on-1 here at the moment for the Bombers. Handball to Bagley. Went back looking for Heppel and it went over the line out of bounds. Let's go around the grounds, please, Ash.
Yeah, BT, it's quarter time. Melbourne leading Port Adelaide by 25 points.
What's the time in the forward half in the last 10 minutes, Ash? Because North Melbourne is dominating at the moment.
Yeah, they are. They're at 71%.
Bombers fans not happy about holding the ball free kick against Dumont, and it was there too. Merritt went and got it. Handball wide to Heppel. Very good player, Dyson Heppel. Runs a bit of an arc and then sits a high one long down the line. Good mark taken by Hooker. Hooker's now got to wait for players to stream past him. Down to you, narrowly.
Luke McDonald waiting to come back on, and James Kelly a little bit sore, needed to be assessed by the doctor's lower left leg, but looks to be okay to continue.
Scotty Thompson, defensive intercept mark, got it to Declan Mountford. Mountford's going to distribute a long way across the ground to Fishy Mullet, who's got it at half back. And he goes to Andrew Swallow, who's worried out of it by McGrath. Gibson running with him. And Gibson will go backwards again to Mullet, who really hasn't moved, and now he distributes sideways to Mountford. So they're drawing a bit of pressure on themselves here, the Kangas. Over the top to the first gamer, and Williams has a couple of bounces. And then a long high ball down the line. Work to do here for Higgins. Got hands to it, couldn't take it. Parrish, brilliant. Hooker equally.
Handball, swift by the Bombers, clean. Ends with Danaher. His kick looking for Merritt. Merritt probably could have gone back, chose not to in the end. And therefore Thompson was able to pick up the ball through the middle of the ground. Go the Kangaroos. Rovat looking for the pass to Wade, who come a million miles an hour at the footy and marked it on the chest in front of Hurley. 50 out directly in front. Gave the handball off to the big kicking Mullet. Mullet, no problems at all. Pulls the trigger and rams it home from 50 metres out. Swift answer from the Roos. 7-2, 44 the Bombers. North Melbourne 7-4, 46. Hit the front by 2 points. Bomber tile scoreboard. Let's get downstairs. Bob Jane, T Marks.
Yeah, BT. Gleeson coming off with that left shoulder injury. Doc Bruce Reid trying to get out to get him off in the last 5 minutes of that incident at Centre 40. He's very sore. It's that heavily strapped left shoulder. Doc's just checking him out now. Doc
Ryan White, the best in the business. Bob Jane, T Marks and narrowly down there. Just shows, Duck, what a difference Jared Waite makes to this team.
Yeah, he does, and they're very well led up. But talking about, taking this Essendon team on, they're beating Essendon at their own game at the moment. North Melbourne have had 40 uncontested marks, Essendon 13.
McDonald's McCafe, we're bringing you this game at Etihad. As I said, an entertaining one, just 2 points. The lead with North, but the centre clearance is going Essendon's way again. Parrish off the back, short to Bellchambers, centre circles. Big Belcho. High ball inside 50 to the dangerous Hooker. Thompson with him. Ball gets to the back. Luke McDonald's back out there. Picks it up. The left foot around the body. Ball for Swallow, who I thought took a mark and got his arms chopped one or the other. And he gets the footy at half back. Short to Rovat, who wants to go. Does so to McDonald on the wrong side for him. Handball to a man who was being tackled in Zurhar. It's a turnover now in a dangerous spot. Hooker's got it. Handball to Goddard, who will make them pay. Kick from Goddard is going to miss. Should have done better. Misses to the left and behind. 7-3, 7-4. Kangas by a point.
Had a little bit more time than he thought there, Goddard.
Just rushed it a little, didn't he?
Yep.
He'd broken through and he thought felt like there was still pressure around. There wasn't. Ball's kept alive here from a kick in. Another poor kick in here from North Melbourne means the Bombers come from everywhere, try and hold it up and force the ball up. Nothing on offer. Shovel out the back door. Swallow got a piece of it. Gives it off to Gibson by hand. Gibson now with the left foot kick around the corner. Bagley going to be in front. Brown made him earn it, trying to bring the ball to the ground. Majak Door squirted out the handball. Fantasia, spinning pirouette out of trouble, into trouble, if you know what I mean. Swallow, Dumont, combination handball. Majak likewise goes backwards. And now they just retreat. North Melbourne wisely to Higgins. Higgins plays on with a long handball backwards to Thompson. He takes an unnecessary bounce and then the short kick arrives. So North Melbourne just coming gently out of defence here.
Declan Mountford takes it at half back, the boy from Albany. Handball to Atley. Didn't really help him with that handball. Atley's got to get around Laverty. Does so somehow, but runs himself back into trouble. Back to Mountford. He wants to handball. Does so now. Mullet on the wing. To centre half forward. Majak Door's got to stand under the footy. Good hands. And goes inside 50. Not a great ball for Benny Brown. It might get to the back. Out of bounds would be a good result here for the Bombers. And it's taken over by Hartley to be thrown in very deep. Lloyd end.
So boundary thrown, as you say, down there. Both benches at the moment. Nez have been kept very busy down there, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are. Marty Gleeson is getting a left elbow strapped at the moment, so he's going to look like a bit of a mummy on the left side of his body with that left shoulder and the left elbow.
Ball goes out of bounds again after an initial boundary throw in deep in the Kangaroos attacking 50, 45-46, North by a point. Boundary umpire was very quick to whip it back into play. Bell Chambers knocks the ball down. Kick at goal there was just missed by Dumont. And a minus score. I think it was Dumont, was it? Or was Zurha? Zurha was the second gamer. So 47-45, 2-point Kangaroos lead here on the Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
What are the clearances in this game, Ash, please?
Yeah, 22-14 Essendon's way.
They are right on top whenever there's a stoppage. They look very, very dangerous, and there's going to be one here. About 70 out from North Melbourne's goal, a boundary throw-in. Such a talented group of on-ballers playing for the Bombers. The very, very shallow throw-in.
Oh,
horrible. Slap to the back, but there's another clearance. Stewart it is. Left foot, high ball forward. Real dangerous here, Hooker, especially against Clark, who's a midget. Comes to the back. Did it pretty well. Scotty Thompson got it to Clark, and Clark's kick's okay to Attlee, who'll want to go. He'll want to take Bagley on with the wheels. He goes inside 50, looking for the young boy Larkey. Can't find him. Good forward pressure put on by Garner, and also Waite, and there'll be a ball thrown up 45 from home.
What other forward tackles? Kangaroos have been on in that area of the game.
Yeah, spot on, Duck, in the forward half, 21-11 North Melbourne's way.
Nick Larkey, the new boy there.
What are his numbers, Ash?
Slow-mo.
For young Larkey, Bosch Tool Stats, he is currently statless.
Okay, well, it's interesting. Because the way he attacked that last mark, he was almost like he was watching himself in slow-mo replay. As a free kick has been paid to Zurha.
Just playing his first game, Bristol.
Yeah, well, just put it on normal speed, I'd say.
We tend to cut the debutante some sort of slack, only as a rule, but
Just a little.
Zurha, 45 metres out. When you cross the line. Zurha, very, very difficult kick. There you go, there's a bit of slack. High footy. Brown just got out-manoeuvred there. They did not allow him to run and jump at the footy because he's capable of jumping over the pack. Boundary throw in, up against the behind post, deep in the Roo, forward 50.
not getting a lot of reward for effort here, North. They've had it in their forward half for most of the quarter, just the 2-point lead. And that's exactly what they led by at quarter time. The Bombers will take this because their moment in this game will come. You just know it. Footy out of play again. Rovat saw it out.
Played a slow game today, the Bombers. I saw them last week play, and every time they got the footy, they played on at will. And so far in this second quarter, North Melbourne have played on 10 times. The Bombers haven't played on once yet.
To the front. Darcy Parish around the body. Mullet's playing a decent game of footy. Took a mark. Distributes sideways to McDonald. And he takes it almost sort of between centre and centre-half forward. Wants to go sideways to Clark. Not as penetrating a kick, Clark, so I'm not sure what that was all about. Clark goes short to Zurha. And Zurha picks out Mountford. Mountford takes on Parish. Left foot high ball inside 50. Majak Door, a little piece of it. Larkey got in his way. Goddard's hands were clean to Bagley.
Bagley now, a kick out of defence. Good ball to Danaher. Geez, a great kick. Danaher first to recover after both players go to ground. Nielsen was the other one. It might have been Durden.
No,
it was.
Nielsen,
and now he comes back. Got it again. Nielsen now. Little knockdown. Collier's there. Gee, McDonald spun out beautifully. Won a real hard ball. Hardest ball of the day to win so far. Now an opportunity for the Roos. Get it inside their forward 50. Right on the boundary line. Higgins with a left foot sidewinder. Mark taken in the end. A good one it was by Bell Chambers.
Taking a couple of good defensive marks today as Bell Chambers. Majak Door was right there, so playing on his opponent.
Round the grounds for near map aerial imagery, Ash.
Jeez, Melbourne by 32 points over Port, early stage of second quarter.
That is a big game for the Demons. And their hopes of playing in their first final in a long time. Clark, half back, sideways to the first gamer, Simpson. Simpson's handball off to Mullet. Sideways ball from him. Mountford, thumping handball. Rovat had him fumble. Caused all sorts of problems. Back to Mountford. Mountford sideways to Attlee. So just starting to fart around with the ball a little here, North. Attlee's got it on the wing. Wants to go inboard. That's real dangerous. Goddard all over it like a rash, centre circles. Handball to Heppel. They should kick a goal out of this, the Bombers. Heppel runs to half forward. Long ball, good ball, straight ball, goal. North Melbourne getting exactly what they deserved for farting around, as I said, with the pill. And good teams make you pay. 8-3-51, 7-5-47, Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
And the Bombers haven't made them pay on many occasions today. They've stuffed around with the ball themselves, but what Dyson Heppel did then was really good. I thought he might have overcooked it, but what he did, he knew his own capabilities. He had two players running on the outside of him he could have handballed it to, but he knew from 55 there was a vacant goal square. He took it upon himself to finish the job. He could have handballed it, but there was pressure just ahead, and he summed it up very well.
4 goal to 3/4 here for the Bombers. Still tight this game. Nothing more than a kick in it for the entire game so far. 4-point margin here right now as we bear down on half-time with a minute 54 left on the clock. Heppel trying to charge out of the middle. Higgins got taken high and he'll get the free back of the centre circle here. Sean Higgins. Higgins now sees something wide in Mullet. Goes Atley instead. Got the overlap run out wide from Mullet, ignored that Atley, gave the handball here to Gibson. Gibson Chisler, beautifully presented on the chest, but dropped, absolutely flat out dropped then by Larkey, I think it might have been. Now it spills here to McGrath of Essendon. His kick is without thought and rams it down the throat of the opposition in Durden on centre wing.
Goes back to Rovat. Rovat short to Atley. 4-point lead here for the Bombers. Luke McDonald will want his left side. Sticks it down the throat of Cunnington. Should release. And does. Gibson, he'll take it just inside 50. Tough shot here. Tough set shot for Gibbo. Not right in the middle of his wheelhouse, I wouldn't have thought, Ash.
No, definitely not, JB. He's 65% by foot this year. 3 goals, 6.
Uncontested marks are building for the Kangaroos, too, man. What are they at?
They're 62-16 North's way.
Tight angle. Lloyd end. Right forward pocket. Sam Gibson will take his best. Oh, he's hit it beautifully. Absolutely flushed it. I take it back. Straight through the guts. 57-53, Kangas by 4 points, Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
But Brad Scott would have to be really happy with how they've set up behind the footy. So when the Bombers got the footy in this quarter, and let's be honest, most of the play has been inside North Melbourne's forward half. So every time the Bombers get the ball, they're just about the best at going from one end to the other and making you pay. We saw Dyson Heppel do it, but there's been so many occasions in this quarter where North Melbourne has set up behind the footy and forced and pressured the Bombers into giving the footy back to them on centre wing, and then they go back in and have another opportunity.
I think I might have buggered that score up, Bristol. 8-5-53 North, 8-3-51 Essendon.
Might have been the Triple M Chemist Warehouse screen that you're looking at JB, that threw you. Discover the new
yes.
David Beckham fragrance. Respect a Chemist Warehouse, the real house of fragrances. How many lead changes in this game so far, Ash? I'm predicting 6, 7, 8, somewhere there.
7 for Bosch Tools.
Right at smack in the middle, there you go. Out of it comes an opportunity here with Dumont, who was tackled by 3 Bombers. And we'll have another ball up in the middle. So a 2-point margin for North Melbourne here. Just as we close down the last 20-odd seconds here. Higgins is in there amongst it. Little handball comes his way. The class of Higgins, dashing run out of the middle. Thought about the kick, went the handball. And now the Roos go inside 50. The kick from Rovat was nice and deep. Kangas didn't quite penetrate there. And now the Bombers out of defence. Laverde will take the mark. 2-point lead North Melbourne here at half-time. A lot of people wouldn't have expected that with a very, very young side and a bit of a Zurhaar-McKenna standoff here at the moment. Let's go around the ground near Mount aerial imagery.
Jeez, Melbourne by 38 points over Port Adelaide, early stages, second quarter.
A bit of a stoush going on here at the moment. Hurley stepped in, Zurhaar's in amongst it, and he wants to go with the Irish boy, and I think the Irish boy might have a bit of go in him, Connor McKenna. And now they come in, so both teams converging here. Umpires galore standing in there at the moment. Little boundary umpires not wanting to get involved, though. They're outside the huddle. 8-3-51 Essendon. North Melbourne 8-5-53. Beaumont Tile scoreboard for McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy.
This quarter was brought to you by Beaumont Tiles. For Australia's best tradie rewards, it's Beaumont's Trade Club for McDonald's.
Triple M Rocks footy.
Shut up! For McDonald's.
Triple M Rocks footy.
This halftime break is brought to you by IGA Liquor. Make sure you stock up at IGA Liquor this footy season.
This is the Triple M halftime break, thanks to IGA Liquor. IGA Liquor, as they say, make sure you stock up at IGA Liquor this footy season. By the way, halftime scores, North Melbourne by just 2 points over the Bombers. A little unexpected, I would think, 8-5-53 to Essendon, 8-3-51. Ash, Bob Jane T. Marts, what have we got to halftime? Boss Tool stats as well.
Yeah, right. North 4 teenagers today, and they're dominating the inside 50s, 35-23. The uncontested marks, Bombers ranked first in that stat, averaging 95 per game. Well, today, North have flipped that around there at 62 to the Bombers, only at 17. We look at tackles in the forward half, 21-12 North's way, and 7 out of their 8 majors have come from Bomber turnovers. Leading ball winners, Rovat 15, Gibson 15 and a major. Garner, number 1 ranked player on the ground with 14 disposals and a goal. And for the Bombers, 16 to Merritt, 13 to Goddard. Hurley and McGrath last week had 50 touches combined. Today, only 14.
Near-map aerial imagery, Ash, as we go around the grounds.
Melbourne, they are 6 goals, 5-41, leading Port by 37 points. 4 behinds, yet to kick a major halfway into the second.
Wow, incredible stuff. Hey, Brownie, what we're seeing here at the moment is North Melbourne with their nose in front, 2 points up at half-time. I would think unexpected. Is this real of North Melbourne, or are the Bombers allowing this to happen?
I think the Bombers are allowing this to happen. I think North Melbourne have been terrific. They've tackled harder. Their contested footy's good. They haven't given the ball back to the Bombers. But the real story is how the Bombers have turned up today. I couldn't be more disappointed, and I imagine Bombers supporters, it's been a pretty ordinary performance. Let's be honest. They should be well in front in this game. They've got so many young players, the Kangaroos. They've buggered around with the footy. They've played millionaire footy today, the Bombers. They haven't wanted to get their hands dirty. The Kangaroos have. They've got a bunch of kids in there who basically want to do the right thing. They've been sent out there with some instructions from Brad Scott, and they don't want to let their teammates or their coach down being a young group of players. And the Bombers turned up, and they haven't done that, and I would be absolutely livid if I was the Essendon coach right now. They haven't turned up with any sort of intensity around the footy. They've turned it over, and they've been caught short.
What do you think might happen? Are we going to see this turn around, or do you think it's set in for the day for Bomber fans?
It's not ingrained yet, I don't think. I think the Bombers have had enough of it. They're 12 down in inside 50s, which is a real concern, but when they have gone forward, they've had more space than the Kangaroos. So I think the Bombers can turn this around. I still think they'll win it, but they've got to pull their finger out.
Ash, let's go around the grounds again for near-map aerial imagery.
Sure, BT. Melbourne 6-5-41, leading Port. Only 4 behinds halfway into the second.
What game are we going to for Triple M football after this today, Ash?
It's Bulldogs taking on the Gold Coast Suns. That's up north at Kazali Stadium, 4:35.
Okay, and the game tonight?
Yeah, big one, Sydney v St Kilda SCG.
All on Triple M football. And tomorrow, back here tomorrow, I think, aren't we?
We are. Etihad, Collingwood versus West Coast, 3:20 start.
Should be a good game. Half-time here at Etihad. Roof closed. Tight game, North Melbourne by just 2 points, 8-5-53. The Bombers 8-3-51. From McDonald's, Triple M Rock Footy.